When the brand name Versace comes up, the first thing that comes to mind is luxury, extravagance, and top-notch style. Well, Versace has a fascinating history, full of significant events and interesting facts. Join us as we take you on a journey back in time, where we unveil the story about the kid who invented the successful million-dollar empire, Versace. Let's begin. Early life. This Italian fashion mogul, known for his daring fashions and glamorous lifestyle, was born as Giovanni Maria Versace on the 2nd of December 1946 in the town of Reggio Calabria, Italy. His father was Antonio Versace, who helped run the family's coal mining business, and his mother, Francesca Versace, was a seamstress for a fashion company who went on to open her own fashion boutique. Versace grew up with his elder brother, Santo Versace, and younger sister, Donatella Versace. He also had an older sister, Tina, who died at the age of 12 due to a tetanus infection which was not treated properly. Versace was raised watching his mother work on designs in her boutique, and Versace considered the Couture workroom to be his playroom as it was his favorite place. It was here that Versace developed his love for fashion. After graduating from high school, Versace was an apprentice at his mother's dressmaking business, which employed up to a dozen seamstresses. Moving forward at the age of 26, Versace moved to Milan to start his career in fashion design. There he worked for several Italian ateliers, including Genny, Complice, Callaghan, and Mario Valentino. Journey into the fashion industry. Showcasing his talent in 1972, Versace made up a collection, which was his first independent assignment for a clothing firm named Florentine Flowers. His ready-made apparel became an instant success, and he decided to stay in Milan. In 1973, Versace became the designer of Byblos, successful Genny's youthful line. Versace presented his first collection of leather clothes in 1974 for Complice, which was another experimental line for Genny, making him one of the first designers to use leather during this time. Giovanni Versace's brother, Santo Versace, moved to Milan in 1976 to help Giovanni Versace in founding the Gianni Versace label. A year later, their sister Donatella also joined the team. Backed by an Italian fashion family, Girombellis, Versace established his own company in 1978, Gianni Versace S.p.A. in Via Spiga, Milan. He debuted with a line of clothing for women, which was an instant success. He also staged his first ready-to-wear show under his own name that same year, and launched a men's line in September. Versace remained an independent label and was one of the few designers that had control of the whole product cycle from designing to retailing. Versace's fashion empire. After introducing his Milan boutique in 1978, Versace became a fashion sensation in no time on the international fashion scene. His designs contained bold prints, vivid colors, and sexy cuts, which were a refreshing difference to the existing taste for simplicity and muted colors. His fascinating work combined luxurious classicism with overt sexuality, and that attracted praise as well as criticism. From 1978 onwards, the rising fashion designer built the company with the support of his family by employing his sister Donatella as vice president and his brother Santo as president of the company. Donatella's attention extended to creative oversight, where she acted as a main consultant to Versace. Versace also employed Donatella's husband, Paul Beck, as the director for menswear. In 1979, Versace collaborated with Richard Avedon for the company's first photography campaign. It was in this same year that Versace's signature fragrance was introduced. Versace began a long series of collaborations stepping into the theater world. He became the costume designer for Richard Strauss's ballet, which gave Versace's clothing a new viewpoint associated with free movement and, in turn, dance. During the ballet season 1981 and 1982 of the Teatro alla Scala in Milan, he got the opportunity to design all of the costumes for Strauss's Joseph's Legenda. One of Versace's most famous innovations was his 1982 invention of a type of super light chainmail called Oroton, which became a signature material in his outfits that was presented at the Paris Opera. In that same year, Versace expanded their company into the accessory, jewelry, home furnishing, and fine china industries. During 1984 and 1985, Versace contributed a specially appointed Gianni Versace edition to the Mark VII line of U.S. luxury automaker Lincoln. In 1989, Versace launched his first Haute Couture collection in Paris and opened Atelier Versace. Versace was famous for employing celebrities in his marketing campaigns and seating them in the front rows of his fashion shows. He's also credited with inventing the supermodel vogue of the 1990s by discovering and featuring major supermodels like Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, and Christy Turlington. In 1992, Versace was the designer for the stage costumes and album cover costumes for Elton John's world tour. In that year, the Versace Home Collection was launched, which included pillows and sheets. The Council of Fashion Designers of America awarded Versace the American Fashion Oscar in 1993. He was also honored by the Italian and French presidents. That same year, Donatella Versace created the Young Versace line, which was the company's first children's line. The blonde fragrance was also launched this year. Versace's personal life and tragic death. Versace met his partner Antonio D'Amico, a model, in 1982. Their relationship lasted until Versace's final days. During this period, Versace was diagnosed with ear cancer. While battling this cancer successfully, Versace passed much of his business responsibilities onto his family. On the fateful morning of the 15th of July, 1997, Versace left his mansion and walked on Ocean Drive to get his morning magazines. Upon returning and climbing the steps of his Miami Beach mansion, a man dressed in a gray t-shirt, black shorts, a white hat, and carrying a backpack shot him in the head at point-blank range with a .40 caliber Taurus PT-100. Versace was pronounced dead at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami at 9:21 a.m. He was 50 years old at the time of his death. Versace was the last victim of Andrew Cunanan, a serial killer. Cunanan died by suicide on a houseboat 8 days after Versace's murder. It's still unknown as to why Versace was murdered. The fashion legend's body was cremated and his ashes were returned to the family's estate near Cernobbio and buried in the family vault at Moltrasio Cemetery near Lake Como. Versace's funeral liturgy, held at Milan Cathedral, was attended by over 2,000 people, including Elton John, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, Naomi Campbell, Diana, Princess of Wales, who was killed a month later in a car accident, and Giorgio Armani, who was Versace's biggest rival. At the time of Versace's death, his empire was valued at $807 million and included 130 boutiques across the world. Talent, family support, determination, and hard work is what made Versace a world-class designer. Don't forget to show some love and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining us.